Say goodbye to boring breakfast. These 10 easy diabetic recipes will change your mornings forever. The 3 simple ingredients that can be found at your local supermarket, Kroger, are our eggs, mushrooms, and cheese. Go ahead and grab that strainer and we're going to wash those mushrooms. Now I do want you to pat or blot them dry and go ahead and give them a chop. And friends, remember, I do not want you to stress out about things being chopped evenly. And I see so many things and I think we're swinging back to the, let's cook normal. We don't have to be so super fancy pans. Chop it as you wish. If some parts are uneven, this is absolutely okay. The big more topics to talk about is why we love mushrooms. A cup of mushrooms is only 15 calories, 3 grams of carbs, and are a great source of selenium. Now, y'all know the other thing I don't like to do is dirty dishes. We don't need 700 bowls to cook. We're actually going to mix this in our measuring cup. I hate dishes. I hate dirty bowls. This is the smartest way to do this. And we're going to crack our 4 eggs in there. And this is also a great way to look to see if any shall appear. Now, by now, we love the egg in this kitchen, but if you're new here, and hey, if you're new, I'm Shelly, I'm a dietitian. During the day, I work with clients to help with weight loss, to balance our hormone levels, lower blood sugar levels. And at night, I have a pretty busy life. I'm a mom of 2, which is a 24-hour job, but I try to make really simple, easy recipes that the entire family would love. So if that's of interest to you, go on and join me, subscribe. We're going to add everything in this measuring cup. Go ahead and put the cheese in there, stir it in, and then you're going to pour it in your muffin tin. Now, I've said this once, I've said it again. I am so on the fence about getting the silicone muffin cups. If you have them, let me know. I am using nonstick cooking spray. Some people will blot olive oil in there. I do not have time for that. For the naysayers who hate nonstick cooking spray, that is an option for you. So, do what works for you. I never want to rain on anybody's parade. I ask that people don't rain on mine. So just use a nonstick cooking spray, throw it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, egg muffins are perfect for our meal prep. You see that we took them out the oven. Obviously, they're cool now, and you could use your spatula or butter knife to remove them. I would store them by 2 in our Ziploc bags. And remember, this is a source of protein. So we need our fiber to go with it. So you can add a cup of your berries. You could add, a slice of your sola bread, which is one of my favorite breads to this. You could also put the eggs on a mission carb wrap. Just be mindful that we do need to add that fiber. And I personally would add another protein, maybe a Dannon 2 Good yogurt, but this is the base of a perfect prediabetes meal prep for weight loss. Preheat your oven to 375 and grab your dry and liquid measuring cup. And yes, I do realize my drawer is a mess. We do need to start normalizing this, gang. I don't have matchy equipment. I use what works, and this has been with me for years, so it's going to be. And if you want me to have matchy stuff, you can gladly mail it to me because baby, I ain't gonna buy if it works. The other thing is that I'm using a fork to stir. I'm not using some fancy whisk. Grab your muffin tins and your nonstick cooking spray. Ingredients, crazy easy. We have our 4 eggs. And of course I have our bag of spinach. Now I am using fresh spinach, and just make sure that ingredient list, the only ingredient on there is spinach. And yes, I'm using shredded cheese from the Kroger. Grab your strainer and take 2 handfuls of spinach. It's going to be about a cup. We're going to go ahead and rinse it. Now blot that spinach with a paper towel dry, and we're going to give it a chop. It doesn't matter how big you chop it. Again, I want to normalize cutting up stuff in the kitchen. As long as you don't hurt yourself, as long as you're cutting properly, I'm fine. It doesn't have to be all even like the chefs on TV do. A cup of spinach, listen to this, 7 calories. I consider it a free food. So I always tell folks, add it to everything. And it does have a little bit of iron in there. It's one of those items that's kind of like a sneaky product. There's sneaky iron in there. Now, one of y'all know my favorite tricks when it comes to cracking eggs. I love to crack it in the measuring cup. I look at it, I make sure that there's no shells in there. Plus, I don't like to dirty all these dishes. 1 egg, 72 calories, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and no carbs. Now, absolutely, you can use egg whites. I've been on an egg white kick lately just to up the protein in my diet. So for sure, you can use your egg whites. I'm using a fork. I don't use anything fancy. I hate dirtying up stuff. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of fancy gadgets in my kitchen. Starting it all up, I'm pouring that spinach in there. there, mix it all together. And then what I'm doing is you take your muffin tin. Now I'm spraying it. We've talked about this before in the past. I'm really interested in buying these silicone muffin tins that you see a lot of other YouTubers use, and I see them in the store. But again, I'm not going to buy it unless it works. I don't have all this money and space to have all these gadgets. So if you do have the silicone muffin tins, let me know. I'm really interested in buying it, but I really want to make sure it works. I hate to just use it 3 times and they fall apart and fail. We're going to bake this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, while waiting for your eggs to cook, definitely grab your storage bags. You can label them. Remember, I put 2 muffins in each bag. They'll last in the refrigerator for about 4 to 6 days. You could definitely freeze these as well. Use your spatula, your butter knife to remove. These are awesome. They're great for meal prep. Take care, gang. Looking for one of the best breakfasts for pre-diabetics? These egg muffins for diabetics are perfect for your pre-diabetes meal prep. They taste delicious. They contain simple ingredients. And I want you to stay to the very end because I'm going to show you how to include this in your pre-diabetes plan and how it works for weight loss. Preheat your oven to 375 and grab your dry and liquid measuring cup. And yes, I do realize my drawer is a mess. We do need to start normalizing this, gang. I don't have matchy equipment. I use what works, and this has been with me for years, so it's going to be. And you know, if you want me to have matchy stuff, you can gladly mail it to me because baby, I ain't gonna buy it if it works. The other thing is that I'm using a fork to stir. I'm not using some fancy whisk. Grab your muffin tins and your nonstick cooking spray. We just need 3 simple ingredients. You can get these at your local supermarket because, gang, I do not shop at the fancy store. We need to normalize shopping at Walmart more. Let's go for it. Go team Walmart. We have 4 eggs that we're going to use. They're a protein powerhouse, a package of your frozen broccoli, and then a package of your cheese. Now, I just talked about Walmart. You could tell that I got these at Kroger. Now, I love using this trick. I'm actually going to crack my eggs in the measuring cup. Why am I do this? Well, number one, I hate washing dishes, so I don't want to dirty an extra bowl. But really, this is going to help us pour out this egg and cheese mixture into our muffin tin so we don't make a mess because, you know, a messy kitchen is a great kitchen, but I don't like cleaning up mess either. So one of our eggs, so remember we're using 4 eggs in this recipe, 72 calories, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and really no carbs. So yay for that. I am using a fork to whip these eggs. Now, I don't have fancy equipment. I keep things really simple, and I tell this exact advice to my patients. So if you're new here, hey, I'm Dietitian Shelly. My job is that I'm a dietitian. I see folks during the day. Mainly, I see folks for weight loss, blood sugar control, and hormone balance. If that's you, you want to subscribe because I'm going to give you some fun tips and tricks to follow. To this, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of our cheese, and yes, you can use any type of cheese. I'm using cheddar. If mozzarella's on sale, use that. It all works out great. So please don't feel like you have to use cheddar cheese, or if you want to ask, you can. I like cheddar. You might like mozzarella. Go ahead and grab that muffin tin, and I'm cutting the frozen broccoli open with our scissors. And one thing that I want you to do is put that broccoli down, spray that muffin tin with your nonstick cooking spray. This is very important. I don't own the silicone muffin cups. If you do, I'm very interested in purchasing this. I really want to buy only things that I need and work. So if they work for you, let me know when they're on sale at the Walmart. I'm gonna go and grab me some of those. I'm happy to hear your opinion. You're gonna fill up half of the muffin tin with your frozen broccoli. Of course, you could use different vegetables. Notice I am using the frozen chopped broccoli though. Pretty important because to have big broccoli florets in the muffin tin is going to be a little bit messy and it may not cook all the way. So that's super important to me. Now, a little trick, I am going to spray the top of this so that it doesn't, get any kind of burn, any kind of crisp. And we are going to cook this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. While this is cooking, we're going to grab our meal prep items, which is our storage bags. And to get these out of the muffin tin, you could use a spatula. I was actually given this spatula as a gift. I think it was in my Christmas stocking one year, but you could use your plain old butter knife. These absolutely look great. Now remember, I cooked these for 15 to 20 minutes. The time's going to matter on how frozen your vegetables are. So give a little peek. It may take a little longer, it may take a little bit of a shorter time. And I'm going to remove these from the oven and let them cool for a little bit, and I'm gonna cut them out with my spatula. Now, of course, you could put them in your storage bags. This video is about meal prep specifically for pre-diabetics. So I would encourage you to put 2 in your bag. Serving size is 2. You add to this a fiber. Now, in a past video, which I'm gonna link below, we talked about meal planning for a full day for a pre-diabetes plan. You're gonna wanna watch that because I talked about the importance of the combination of protein and fiber. And I would actually add another superfood protein to this, like your yogurt. This is a great breakfast. It's super simple. And if you want more menus, scroll in the description box. You can download our 7-day menu to help lower your blood sugar. And gang, I wish you well. In this video, I will show you how to meal prep a low-carb, diabetic-friendly breakfast for the entire week, just using one recipe. I'm Dietitian Shelly. Let's go. And absolutely, you can eat these egg muffins as stew in the morning with berries and maybe some Too Good yogurt, but I'm going to show you 3 variations on this. To make our egg muffin bowls, have a little bit of chopped tomato, basil, cottage cheese. You can see I got it right over at Kroger, pepper and salt. Now, I know a lot of folks here are watching their salt and sodium, so you can use the Paul Prudhomme, you could use Tony's Light, you could use Tony's No Salt. It really is up to you. You're going to go ahead and measure a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese and place it into your bowl. Now you see my bowl is a simple bowl. You could use a meal prep bowl. You can use what your little old heart desires. But for the cottage cheese, I want you to notice I'm using, again, the Kroger brand. I don't believe in, going to the fancy store and spend so much money. Just compare your labels. Now I'm using a 1/2 cup here. You could use up to a cup, and a cup of cottage cheese does have 25 grams of protein. I am a huge lean protein and fiber pusher. Remember, protein helps promote satiety, which will prevent us from snacking, which will help with weight loss. My goal is 90 grams of protein or higher. Now, this is where we can get a little fancy. This is where you add your tomato and basil. And ooh, I feel like one of them fancy chefs and one of them fancy restaurants. And with the little pepper and the salt and, of course, your Paul Prudhomme. But go ahead and grab your egg muffin. Now, you saw I made a mistake. I just kind of threw it in there. You can cut it in half. This really looks beautiful. Gang, you don't have to make it look so pretty. You're only going to see what you're eating, so it's perfectly okay. This is a protein-rich breakfast that you're sure to love. We have another take on the egg muffin bowl, and this time we're doing the egg muffin bowl with our avocado. Now, I am, again, using tomato and basil. Could you add cucumber? Could you add onion? Could you add pepper? You can add what vegetable your little heart desires, but we're also going to add the avocado, and why? We want to pump up the fiber. By now, we push protein in here with the cottage cheese and with the egg. Remember, my goal is for folks to have 90 grams of protein higher for the day. Fiber helps to absorb blood sugar levels. It helps to keep us full, and I'll look for 30 to 35 grams of fiber or higher in a day. Your avocado is going to approximately give you 9. Now, I am using half of the avocado in this recipe. We're still going to make it pretty. We're kind of doing that little bowl look. And gang, this is an amazing breakfast to have with your egg muffins. It looks beautiful. It looks like we spent a ton of time on it, but guess what? We really did. This recipe shines because it is for my to-go folks like moi. I am running out the door in the morning. Most of y'all know by now I have 2 kids. They have incredibly busy schedules, which I am totally okay with. And I run a clinic. I work as a dietitian. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is the egg muffin wraps, and it stars the Mission Carb Balance wraps. This is how we really pump up fiber in our clinic. And this is one of my patients' favorite items are these wraps because they're so easy. They're toteable that you could bring them to a game. You could bring them to work and have them with lunch. You could have them with breakfast. They're a huge amount of fiber, between 13 and 17 grams. Our goal by now is 30 to 35 grams of fiber or higher in our diet per day. Fiber absorbs blood sugar levels. I kind of smashed up the muffin and the salsa. I hate this problem. I can never get it open.
y'all give me a trick, because look at this. I tried and it didn't work. So I want y'all to pretend that I poured some salsa on there. And I know y'all see the store brands on there. Remember, gang, I do not shop at the fancy store. To this day, my hometown does not have the fancy grocery store. It has Walmart and Rouse's, and where I live now, there is the fancy store. But babies, I shop at Walmart and Kroger. Now, I've gotten a little hate on my accent in the last couple of videos, but this is it, baby. This is the Bayou talk right here. We keep it real and we throw in a little bit of that accent. You just put some cheese on that, you wrap it up and go. This is perfect for work. And gang, if you were too busy laughing, I'm Dietitian Shelly. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, but I want you to go into that description box. You can get a wonderful menu and a wonderful planning guide for your supper meals. Much love, team. Take care.
Grab some containers and the star of the show, your Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has 17 grams of protein in 3/4 of a cup. Remember, protein keeps us full. It promotes satiety. Just check the label to make sure that there's no added sugar to this. Then we're going to use our frozen blueberries. And again, I stress this so much. Double check your label. Make sure the ingredient on there is the blueberries. You see there's no added sugar. And then I grabbed some nuts. I just grabbed these out of the cabinet. There is no need to go buy things if we already have them. And that's the case of our bowl. You could use a bowl. You could use containers that you've already had. Please don't go and leave this video and go and buy a bunch of containers when we have some. For today, I'm using the travel cup. Don't go buy any new. If you want to do a bowl and put some aluminum foil on it, that is a-okay. We're measuring out loosely a cup of our Greek yogurt. Now I'm using Faye. There are so many wonderful brands out there. There's Dan and Too Good. Chobani has a 0 sugar. Even some of our store brands from Walmart and Kroger are phenomenal. All I ask you do, and I teach this in clinic, is read your ingredient label. Don't be shamed into buying the most expensive brand. A lot of us are here to save money. And today I picked the Faye. Usually buying in the bigger container is going to be a little bit cheaper, but if you want to just take the yogurt with you to work, you could definitely buy it in the 6 ounce and just mix it when you sit at your desk. I'm adding to this our frozen blueberries. Now, before you panic and, grab those pearls, you can see this is private selection, so I got it at the Kroger. Blueberries are a low glycemic fruit. I am very specific about fruit in clinic. And if you're new here, or if you're visiting, or if you're returning, I'm Shelly. During the day, I work as a dietitian. My main clients are those looking for weight loss, for hormone balance. I have a lot of pre-diabetics, diabetics, even folks looking to lower their cholesterol. And those low glycemic fruits are where we want to go, because those guys have fiber. Fiber is key to keeping us full, but it prevents those ups and downs with our blood sugar levels. So we want to load up on those low glycemic fruits. Other things you could do, raspberries, you could do strawberries, you could do blackberries. I'm doing the blueberries and yogurt. I don't know. It just kind of seems to make sense to me, but please feel free to use any of those other glycemic fruits. Now, the other thing I'm doing is I'm adding nuts. Now, yes, you can get the pretty sliced almonds, but I'm cheap. I want to see what I have and I want to use what I have. One of my goals this year is that I don't waste. All again, I ask you do. I'm preaching to the choir when talking to y'all. Sorry, I had a little tickle in my throat there. Just double check your ingredients. There's really no added sugar to this whole container of nuts. I got this at Sam's Club. You can crush them, but again, I'm also saving time. Who cares? Y'all, this ain't pretty, but guess what? It works. The star of our show is always Greek yogurt. You see there how I am using Faye. My big goal, and I always say this, is check the ingredient label. Make sure there's no added sugar in there. Then we're using cocoa. Now I know what you're saying. Why don't I just buy chocolate flavored yogurt? Nah, I'm going to make my own. And I love cocoa because it does have fiber. And then we also have our nuts and our swerve. Go ahead and measure out 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt. You all know this by now watching me. I really push Greek yogurt and I push it with my clients and patients. Greek yogurt is loaded with protein, which makes it a weight loss winner. This keeps us full. Now I'm adding to this 1 to 2 teaspoons of our cocoa. Now, I don't know if you ever did this as a kid. I did this because I was just crazy and silly. I saw cocoa and I thought chocolate, and I took a tablespoon of it and I ate it. It was terrible. Well, it's bitter. So we're going to add a teaspoon of swerve to this. Now, I'm not adding a lot. Some of y'all are going to want to add a little bit more. If we add too much sugar replacer, we're going to get that weird aftertaste, and I don't like that. And the next question I'm going to get is, can I use stevia, allulose, monk fruit? Yes, yes, and yes. I want you to use what works for you, what fits into your budget, and what you like. I'm also going to add to this 1 to 2 tablespoons of our nuts. And remember, gang, this is a big load that I bought from Sam's Club. Always check those ingredients. Make sure there's no added sugar to there. Of course, you could use the fancy sliced nuts, the pen and the shopping list, and we're going to load it up with Greek yogurt. Now, Greek yogurt, gang, super loaded with protein. We're looking at that label. We say 17 grams per 3/4 of a cup, but I got a little special trick for you. Stay tuned in a second. I have nuts. Now, I found these in my pantry. Use what you have. This is so important, gang. I want to normalize this. It may not be the most beautiful food, but guess what? It's going in your stomach. We're not taking pictures of Instagram and displaying it on there. Don't go buy nuts if you already have something like this in your pantry. And then our peanut butter. Now, I have the Kroger brand here. My goal, gang, is I want to keep it under 5 grams of sugar. This is where, some folks are going to throw things at me, and that's perfectly okay, but I want to normalize budgets. The difference between 4 grams of sugar and 3 grams of sugar. Not that much. But again, pay attention to it. You could go get the Crazy Riches. That's actually one of my favorites. It's at 2 grams of sugar. But again, I want to honor your budget. Grab your bowls. Don't go buy any new ones, y'all. Don't buy. Use what you have. The food is more important. We are going to add to our 2 bowls. You see that I have them right there. A cup of our Greek yogurt. Now, I am using 2% yogurt. I do want to let you know I love fat. I'm not afraid of fat. I do not promote a fat-free diet. In fact, I encourage 50 grams or less in a day. That does not mean for us to go fat-free. This allows us some fat, but I want to be mindful and I want to make sure we're getting good omega-3 fats. And if you have questions about that, I did a great video about pre-diabetes meal planning. I'm going to link it down below. And I also have my free menu in the description box that you can click on, and it explains it a lot more. We're not afraid of fat, but we want to be mindful about it. A cup of this yogurt has 22 grams of protein. Y'all, it is protein that keeps us full. There's more and more evidence, more and more studies are coming out that says that protein can help reduce our appetite stimulating hormones, which means it keeps us full. It promotes satiety. My goal is protein 90 grams a day or more. So in my clinic, we are looking ways to add protein to your diet, and Greek yogurt is one of those ways we could do it instead of eating a 24-ounce ribeye every day. I do love ribeyes, but gang, let's do the Greek yogurt. Now again, this could be your meal prep for the week. I'm just doing 2 bowls of this. This could be Monday through Friday. So keep that in mind. I'm adding a tablespoon of our peanut butter to it. Now peanut butter, again, it does have some fat in it, so we don't want to overdo it. It's going to add a little bit of sweetness to that Greek yogurt. You notice I'm not adding any sugar replacers. You can sprinkle in a little stevia if you would like to, a little bit of allulose. I'm really not. I'm adding that tablespoon of nuts. Again, hello, good omega-3 fats. And I'm combining this. Please, gang, remember, don't judge a book by its cover. This is not the most beautiful looking breakfast, but I'm almost positive whether we're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, or we're a working mom or a dad or a student, people are not going to be looking at your breakfast and go, oh God, that's so ugly and gross. Baby, we eat breakfast in like 3 minutes. And since this takes under 5 minutes to make, we got the winner right here. But wait 1 second. I do encourage you to add an additional fiber to this. Fiber, my goal is 30 grams in a day. Some simple fibers you can add, a couple berries you could match on. You could toast a piece of your sola bread, and here you have it. A perfect pre-diabetes meal prep. Great for keeping your blood sugar stable. Great for weight loss. And gang, be sure to subscribe.